Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is called The Decline of Christianity in Australia. Whether people choose to acknowledge it or not, Christianity is under attack in every nation. Now, are we being persecuted here in the West? No! And it would be foolish and a falsehood to state otherwise, because if you compare the attack on Christianity, the idea of Christianity, and the censorship of Christianity in Australia, that's very different to real Christians in Syria and in Iran and in Saudi Arabia being murdered, being tortured, being killed for their faith in Jesus Christ. So the two are worth actually mentioning and contrasting at that capacity. But that doesn't mean that Christianity is not under attack in Australia. I have actually made a video referencing the attacks on Christians and Christianity in the past. I will pop that video in the description box below, or as a card right up here. But today I'm going to give you some more specific examples of how, what and why Australia is attacking Christianity. Point 1. What about the car bombings that took place at the Australian Christian lobby during the same-sex marriage plebiscite? And it happened to be a member of the ever-tolerant, loving left LGBTQ+I individual. The 36-year-old man was charged with arson and property damage, and the whole thing was downplayed by the police and the media itself. Check out the reference in the description box below. Point 2. Margaret Court, famous former tennis player, now a pastor, a biblical minister, is constantly under attack, is constantly treated like garbage, and is constantly disrespected. Perfect example comes to mind when she went on The Project. And Walid Ali and that fat heifer were both extremely rude to her, simply for voicing her particular opinion.
Can I finish? Well, I need to pick you up on this point though, because there is polling suggesting that 62 to 64% are in support of this. So you can have your view, but you can't change those facts.
But that's their statistics, but our statistics is not like that. And
Margaret, if I could just interrupt,
and it's very precious.
Yep, I get all that. But Margaret, how do you think it feels?
Why is it so difficult to treat someone else with a bit of respect and being polite and listening to what she has to say and wondering why she's saying it and being objective about it rather than mocking her and being scornful? Point 3. The aggressive push to have SRE, scripture classes, banned from public schools. This was once customary in Australia because Christianity was once a rich heritage in this nation. You know, I would ordinarily stand up for the rights of those who don't want scripture read in schools. I would say, well, they're right. No ideology should be taught in schools. They should be taught maths. They should be taught history. They should be taught English. They should be taught the facts. But there's a double standard there anyway, because children are being taught transgenderism. Children are being taught other religions. Children are being taught gender studies and gender binaries and all of these things that they should learn on their own. These moral and life and cultural epiphanies come through time. If you're going to teach them to the children, you're essentially teaching them a particular type of ideology. This is up to the parent, not the state. So if you're going to ban scripture reading classes, then you should also be banning feminism, transgenderism, gender neutral, gender binary crap, and sticking to the facts. Point 4. The hyped up lies being spread about gay conversion therapy. Daniel Andrews has virtue signaled his way and pandered and coddled to the moronic leftist fraction who absorbed all his crap and look at him as a beacon, as a shining light. This story was completely overplayed by the media, and additionally, Christians don't have a very positive opinion of gay conversion therapy as it is. They too find it cruel. Point 5. The push by the Greens to remove the Lord's Prayer from Parliament. This is an attempt to remove our rich history. How dare they even suggest something so moronic and offensive? This is a part of our rich history. We are reminded all the time, every single year, all the time, about what occurred to the indigenous population when the British first came to Australia and colonised it and settled the land. And we need to know about what occurred. We need to know. It's part of our history. So then by that same token, why try to erase something that is also part of our history, the Lord's Prayer? It is only a small fraction of Australian society that is completely atheistic in nature. Yes, the number may be increasing, but why remove it? Point 6. Fred Nile, Christian Democratic Party. He holds views and he states certain rhetoric that you'd think by now the gay community have all heard before and they could just sort of water off a duck's back, as they say. But no, they still continue to bitch and moan. Seriously. Final point, point 7, Israel Folau. He uses his platform, his personal Instagram page, as a way to express himself, whether it be biblically, whether it be photos of him, whether it be with his family. It's his Instagram page. Much like a leftist would probably be very proud of showing their son becoming a daughter, using their Instagram for that purpose. He does the same thing by using his Instagram to put Bible verses up. And in his post, he mentioned liars, drunkards, atheists, homosexuals, a series of different individuals, yet somehow only one of the words got picked up and everyone chucked a hissy fit. And now, well, it's still making news. To be clear, he used his Instagram to show concern and love for the masses. By doing so, what he is doing is showing people how one can acquire salvation. There is no greater gift. Well, he will never play for the Waratahs again, based on an Instagram post. Do you realise how stupid that sounds? Israel Folau has been found guilty of a high-level breach of Rugby Australia's Code of Conduct for using his social media. All of these attacks on Christianity are based on a very superficial, poor understanding of Christianity. The superficial knowledge of Christianity that the general public has proves that the general public has no idea what it says in the Bible and that they are choosing merely to be offended for the sake of it, and that they are not choosing to actually read the Bible and seek out the context of why the specific things were stated. So, when one person is offended, it's the blind leading the blind. Connected to that is a lot of bad theology, ignorance, intolerance, and prejudice of others towards Christianity and Christians. We are called to be tolerant and accepting of all different lifestyles and of all different kinds of people. Yet, they are not exercising those very same virtues towards Christians. Hashtag double standards. I'd say part of the decline of our Western civilization is this diluted version of Christianity that exists. It's not real because people don't actually know what they're talking about. And even though that's the foundation our countries were set on here in the West, we have allowed all these ideological assaults to permeate the culture and permeate our way of life, and it has brought in newer ideas that don't necessarily work or that have somehow become cohesive and merged into something unnatural. And in so doing, Christianity has lost its true essence, and now we have employed and adopted all these other types of ideologies, and now we're trying to navigate and maneuver through a forest of crap. People just don't want to learn, they want to be entertained. Judeo-Christianity, as in biblical Christianity, is hard to quantify. There's no particular metric where one can state these are the statistics. The reason it's hard to quantify is because you cannot really identify in a particular specific individual their relationship, their one-on-one personal relationship with Christ. It's hard to do. Being a member of a church and numbers attached can give one an idea, but ultimately the decline in church membership and attendance indicates that there is a decline in Christianity in Australia. If you think you have other examples that I missed, add them to the comment section because I want to hear them. I want to know them. I want to compile an entire list because I'm sure there are many more examples that I missed. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. All of my social media links are in the description box below. Remember to give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Click the bell if you want more notifications. And remember, I've also joined Subscribe Star. If anyone feels like I deserve any form of donation, go ahead. Otherwise, it's all good. And please stay tuned for my next video or live stream. Please bear in mind that fighting for Christianity is the equivalent of fighting for Australia.